Hello, I'm Lily, 22 years old, a high school graduate student from a well-known business university in the city, and applying for an import-export company. What I wanted then was to simply get a job, receive monthly salary, and have fun with my friends. Shortly after applying, I got a job. I thought that everything was going right, and I was sure that the future would be a good prospect. From handling documents and photocopying papers to buying coffee cups during break time, I guess I was looked like a good candidate for being a servant in their eyes. Of course, I always showed that I happily accepted it, even though it wasn't pleasant in my heart. I had never imagined that the director of an import-export company that had been operating for more than 10 years and was being famous in the market was an over 30-year-old handsome man. I knew for myself that if he wasn't exceptionally talented, he would certainly come from one outstanding background family. I actually thought that I was a realistic person and did not have much illusions. But then I was definitely me, but in a completely different situation. After the brief meeting, I threw myself into imaginary with the director, a prince in a dream, an outstandingly handsome man. Every day before going to work, I deliberately make a little more sharp makeup, choose a little more eye-catching lipstick, dress a little bit more beautiful, and in my head, I always hope to meet the director that day. I must say, what I actively do in the following days was to get closer with the manager. How funny it was when my purpose was not to promote myself as other people do, but to get her assigned me to transfer her files to the office of the director many more times. Now that I have discussed the folk saying, surely the one I choose is the one who has the heart the heavens will not betray. The moment he asked for my phone number, after 2 months I worked hard on transferring some files I didn't really care for, was when I found myself the most talented, beautiful, and absolutely the luckiest woman in this company. Of course, what happened next would be just like the motif of a hit movie. He contacted me on the phone that night and started texting to get to know me as well as my family. Well, it was good to be interested by him, but honestly, I felt like I was applying for a second job. The reason was, our conversations were just like an interview, and he was the one in charge. He kept asking, and I just answered silently. "Do you have a boyfriend?" he asked. This question got me flying joy because I seemed to be getting a job again. Yes, because I liked him first, I was being too easy to be conquered. I became his lover after only 1 month of conversation. When I dated him, I was pampered by him. I was specially chosen as his private secretary, worked less but still received higher salaries, and even was given high-end gifts regularly. The only thing he asked me to do was not to reveal that we were dating. I understood and accepted it. During dating time, I lived like I was an A-list star in the Korean love movie, playing the happy role between the female employee and the director. I am delightful, extremely delightful. I gave him all my cares and my most precious thing. My movie would definitely be shooting continuously. I just did not expect that I had to act a painful life in the end. I wonder who was the director of the movie and how dare he left me in such situation. Incidentally, once I took a file to his room, I heard a conversation between him and a large corporation partner. "Do you still often fly abroad to visit your wife, director?" "Of course, I spend one time every month to visit my family." Hearing this, I felt like I was falling from heaven to the ground. It turned out that 12 years of high school and 4 years of college was nothing compared to this life. I should have gone to extra classes of life in 2 or 3 more years before considering about love. But no, I fell in love without learning much about life. I did not bother to get to know him well, or his family, or his relationships. I stepped in love and enthusiastically gave away everything. After I asked my friends in the company to scout, I finally knew the real information about the Mrs. Director, a beautiful businesswoman who was settling abroad and had given him a child. They often met each other in the long business trips. At that moment, I knew that I had no right to compete with her. Understanding where I stand and trying to be a kind-hearted person, I secretly resigned and fled from my current accommodation. After suffering for a while, I finally settled down and got a new job, thinking that it was the happy ending. I could have forgotten everything, but then I discovered something unexpected. I was pregnant, and that person related to this could only be the director. I think I can't afford to be a single mom. What should I do? I wish that someone could advise me to do the right thing right now.